Hey, yo, what up? Welcome back. This is not a podcast. It's just my thoughts with Rob Markman. We got some breaking news today, something serious. So I just want to get through it. You may remember if you follow this channel or if you watch the news, just hip hop news in general. In December, a civil lawsuit was brought against Diddy and Jay-Z. Actually, the lawsuit was filed months earlier, just including Diddy, and then refiled in December to include Jay-Z's name. And it was over the alleged rape of a 13-year-old girl in the year 2000 after the MTV Video Music Awards of that year. Okay, that lawsuit was dismissed today, February 14th, 2025, with prejudice by the lawyer representing the Jane Doe. Because it was dismissed with prejudice, that means that the suit cannot be refiled as is. All right, I'm putting it up here right on the screen, and it says, pursuant to Rule 41 of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, plaintiff Jane Doe, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby gives notice that the above captioned action is voluntarily dismissed with prejudice. So voluntarily dismissed. They dismissed this voluntarily. Counsel for plaintiff has discussed this matter with counsel for each defendant who acknowledge and consent to this submission. So both parties agreed to have this thrown out. This is what Jay was fighting for the whole time. Anyway, Sean Carter, Jay-Z, issued a statement. He said, "Today is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed. The civil suit was without merit and never going anywhere. The fictional tale they created was laughable if not for the seriousness of the claims. I would not wish this experience on anyone. The trauma that my wife, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed. This 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Jane Doe, and when they quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail, they get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. The court must protect victims, of course, in all caps, while with the same ethical responsibilities, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused without a shred of evidence. May the truth prevail for all victims and those falsely accused equally." Signed, Sean Carter. Jay's lawyer, Alex Spiro, issued a separate statement, and here it is, according to Variety, it says, "The false case against Jay-Z that never should have been brought has been dismissed with prejudice. By standing up in the face of heinous and false allegations, Jay has done what few can. He pushed back. He never settled. He never paid one red penny. He triumphed and cleared his name." While this is great news for Jay-Z, it's unknown the effect that this will have on the criminal and various civil suits that Diddy is currently facing. And, we'll have to wait and see kind of what his fate is in the grand scheme of things. But beyond that, I think it's important to say that a case like this hurts real victims of real crimes who fight to be believed. My opinion is from the start of this case that it was reckless and irresponsible. If you followed me, I reported it as it happened, but the facts just didn't add up. And when the Jane Doe interview with NBC, we saw that there was inconsistencies in her story. She said that her father picked her up after the alleged incident. The father doesn't recall picking her up and driving her home. They lived 5 hours from where the alleged incident happened, and you would think that somebody would remember driving 5 hours and then 5 hours back. But the father said he didn't remember. The Jane Doe said that she had met and spoke with Benji Madden of Good Charlotte at the party where the alleged incident happened. Benji Madden was not at that party. He was on tour in another part of the country. There was inconsistencies about where the alleged incident happened. It was supposedly this white mansion or house with a U-shaped driveway, and it was just inconsistent with the area of New York City that they were in at the time. And there was pictures of Jay-Z and Diddy at an after party at Club Lotus, which is now closed, which just didn't match the description. There were just a bunch of things that didn't add up. And when questioned about those things and those inconsistencies, the lawyer here, Tony Busby, said that, the Jane Doe was referred to him by another lawyer who did the vetting, and that his firm was continuing to vet Jane Doe's claims, which was concerning because if they're continuing to vet her claims, you would assume then that they didn't fully vet her claims, and then how could you file something like this without fully vetting someone's claims? In his statement, Jay calls him the 1-800 lawyer. That's because Busby has been known to set up 1-800 lines. I think he did it in the Travis Scott Astroworld situation, and definitely in the Diddy situation. After the Diddy scandal blew open, he set up a 1-800 line to encourage victims to call, and he took on a number of cases. So it didn't happen. Jay's name is clear. The thing is dismissed. He cleared his name, which he was fighting to. But now what he's kind of saying is justice for real victims of real crimes. And then what about those that are falsely accused who maybe choose to pay to make it go away versus, what Jay did and was like, okay, we're gonna fight this. Because if you remember what it was Diddy. It was just Diddy in the original lawsuit, and there was a celebrity A and a celebrity B. And I guess at some point, Busby's team approached Jay and said, hey, they want a private mediation. And Jay refused to do it. And so I guess the thing was, if they didn't mediate and if they didn't settle out of court, then they would bring the civil suit against Jay. And so Jay didn't want his name in the press. Hey man, let's settle this quietly. And what Jay and his team is saying, hey, it was a shakedown for money. Let's settle this quietly for some money, and we don't put your name out there. Jay refused to mediate, and then the case was refiled with his name, and now he has to fight this publicly. For some, they might not even want to deal with that type of scrutiny. It might be too much for them, and they might pay just to make it go away. Jay refused to pay. Just a case that is unsettling whenever you're talking about anything of a sexual nature in terms of sexual assault, especially with a minor. It's unsettling. It's unsettling to think that someone might do that, and we know this goes on every day for real. And these are serious crimes, but also unsettling that you can be accused of that without proof or without sufficient proof, however you want to weigh it. Like that, it just didn't, from the beginning, at least, I was consistent with my opinion, is that it didn't look like this had any merit. But now it's been dismissed without prejudice, and I think we go on from here. It'll be interesting again to see, obviously, Puff is facing an array of different criminal charges, and we don't know how that's going to play out. That's going to be a huge thing. But as far as Jay-Z is concerned, his name is cleared. So let me know what you think in the comments. I don't know. I normally talk in the comments and I talk back. I don't know that there's going to be a lot of back and forth on this one with me. I'm down to discuss. There's some things, the trolling, I'm not going to do or the whatever, but the facts are here, and that's what it is. I know everybody wants to also talk about the new Drake album. I'll be doing a video on that in the morning. This felt more important. I also believe that, when the case broke, we did videos, everybody reported on it. And now that his name is clear, you have to report on it with the same seriousness and the same timeliness. You got to deliver the good the same way you delivered the bad. So this was way more important. And probably talk about Drake in the morning. All right. Until the next time. Peace.